1. Which instructional strategy best supports adult learners mastering CNC tool offset adjustments during hands-on training? A. Repeating demonstrations without learner involvement. B. Providing supervised practice with real-time feedback. C. Delivering long lectures on machine theory. D. Assigning independent reading of machine manuals. 2. During a CNC skills assessment, which method most effectively evaluates a learner's precision in measuring part dimensions? A. A written exam on metrology vocabulary. B. A performance task using calipers and micrometers. C. A group discussion on measurement challenges. D. A multiple choice quiz on inspection tools. 3. What is the most effective first step when mentoring a trainee struggling with interpreting CNC part blueprints? A. Assigning additional homework exercises. B. Simplifying the prints permanently. C. Diagnosing the exact misunderstanding through questioning. D. Limiting the trainee's access to complex tasks. 4. When developing a CNC machining curriculum, which component ensures alignment with industry standards? A. Instructor preferences for content order. B. Learner requests for easier assignments. C. National manufacturing competency frameworks. D. Machine vendor marketing materials. 5. What communication technique best prevents errors when transferring CNC program instructions to trainees? A. Speaking quickly to maintain efficiency. B. Using vague high-level descriptions. C. Using step-by-step verbal and visual instructions. D. Allowing trainees to guess the missing steps. 6. Which regulatory compliance requirement is most relevant during CNC metal cutting operations? A. Guidelines for classroom attendance. B. Workplace safety and machine guarding standards. C. Policies for grading written exams. D. Records of instructor certifications only. 7. During hands-on CNC practice, what action should an instructor take to minimize the risk of improper machine startup? A. Allow trainees to start independently. B. Demonstrate proper startup procedures and supervise attempts. C. Provide only written instructions. D. Skip the startup lesson for advanced learners. What is the primary purpose of a formative evaluation in CNC machining training? A. Assign final course grades. B. Provide ongoing feedback to improve student performance. C. Issue certification documents. D. Rank learners against national averages. 9. A trainee repeatedly enters incorrect feed rate values. Which mentoring approach is best? A. Criticize errors immediately to increase urgency. B. Remove the trainee from machine access temporarily. C. Walk through the logic behind feed rate selection together. D. Reduce training content to avoid overwhelming the trainee. 10. When designing a CNC simulation module, which goal best supports adult learning principles? A. Ensuring simulations include irrelevant challenges. B. Focusing exclusively on entertainment elements. C. Allowing learners to safely make mistakes and learn from them. D. Requiring perfect performance on the first attempt. 11. Which evaluation method best measures a trainee's ability to troubleshoot CNC alarm codes? A. Watching a video about alarm categories. B. Completing a multiple-choice safety test. C. Performing live troubleshooting drills on the simulator. D. Reading an article about machine errors. 12. In CNC instruction, why is clear communication essential during tool change demonstrations? A. Tool changes are optional in machining. B. Miscommunication can lead to machine damage or safety hazards. C. Communication has no effect on technical accuracy. D. Trainees prefer to observe without explanation. 13. When creating assessments for CNC machining skills, what ensures fairness and validity? A. Allowing instructors to test only topics they enjoy teaching. B. Aligning test items with defined learning outcomes. C. Asking only general knowledge questions. D. Using the same questions every year regardless of updates. 14. During a practical CNC exam, what is the most reliable way to assess a trainee's ability to secure workpieces? A. Asking them to describe clamping verbally. B. Observing them set up and secure a real workpiece. C. Giving a quiz on vice components. D. Asking trainees to read a setup checklist. 15. Which mentoring technique best promotes confidence in new CNC operators? A. Encouraging independent problem solving with guided support. B. Limiting opportunities to avoid mistakes. C. Correcting all errors without explanation. D. Assigning only theoretical reading. 16. When teaching CNC safety protocols, which approach enhances learner retention? A. Providing a single long lecture. B. Allowing trainees to skip safety practice activities. C. Using demonstrations, scenarios, and repeated practice. D. Assigning optional safety videos. 17. What is the most important consideration when developing CNC laboratory activities? A. Activities must match real-world machining tasks. B. Activities should only be theoretical. C. Activities should avoid using real machines. D. Activities should prioritize artistic elements. 18. A trainee misinterprets G-code command functions. Which instructional strategy is most effective? A. Explaining every command at once. B. Teaching commands in meaningful groups with examples. C. Avoiding the topic to reduce confusion. Having the trainee memorize commands without context. 19. Which regulatory requirement applies to storing CNC training records? A. Federal guidelines for maintaining educational documentation. B. Entertainment industry advertising rules. C. Personal preference of the instructor. D. Machine manufacturer opinions. During CNC instruction, when is demonstration preferred over lecture? A. When skills are physical and require precision. B. When learners already know the skill. C. When teaching abstract theory. D. When avoiding learner questions. 21. Which evaluation approach best measures CNC programming competence? A. A worksheet on programming rules. B. A written essay about machining history. C. A task where learners create and run a program safely. D. A survey about learner confidence. 22. What communication method helps ensure trainee understanding during complex machining steps? A. Using checkback or teachback confirmation. B. Speaking without pauses to maintain flow. C. Providing instructions only once. Using vague language to reduce anxiety. 23. A mentor wants to improve a trainee's understanding of spindle speed calculation. What is the best approach? A. Provide the formula and work through sample problems together. B. Require the trainee to search for answers independently. C. Avoid numerical topics to reduce stress. D. Provide only the final correct answers. 24. When revising CNC curriculum, which factor requires immediate updates? A. New industry machining standards and technologies. B. Instructors' personal preference changes. C. Student complaints about difficulty. D. Availability of larger classrooms. 25. Which technique best supports adult learners when practicing CNC coordinate system setup? A. Allowing repeated guided practice with explanation. B. Limiting trainees to a single practice attempt. C. Reading the reference manual aloud. D. Demonstrating without letting them try. 26. What is the main purpose of summative evaluation in CNC machining training? A. Providing ongoing informal feedback. B. Determining final certification or course completion. C. Identifying daily performance trends. D. Giving trainees optional improvement tips. 27. Which scenario demonstrates proper regulatory compliance during CNC machining operations? A. Ignoring coolant spills to avoid work delays. B. Wearing required personal protective equipment. C. Disabling machine guards for convenience. D. Letting trainees bypass lockout procedures. 28. A trainee understands theory but struggles with CNC setup. What is the most appropriate instructional adjustment? A. Deliver more lectures on theory. B. Provide hands-on coaching and scaffolded practice. C. Reduce training expectations. D. Assign unrelated practice tasks. 29. Which assessment method best evaluates precision tool measurement skills? A. Live measurement task with accuracy checks. B. A group brainstorming session. C. A true or false quiz. D. A verbal discussion only. 30. What is the most effective mentor response when a trainee incorrectly aligns the workpiece? A. Correct the positioning while explaining why it matters. B. Ignore the error to avoid discouragement. C. Remove the trainee from the activity. D. Give only written instructions for next time. 31. When teaching blueprint reading, which method best promotes understanding? A. Using real-world parts and prints in guided analysis. B. Memorizing blueprint symbols without context. C. Reading definitions from a glossary only. D. Avoiding physical materials to simplify the lesson. 32. What is the most effective way to teach safe CNC shutdown procedures? A. Providing step-by-step demonstration and supervised practice. B. Giving only a written checklist. C. Allowing trainees to figure it out independently. D. Teaching shutdown last minute at the end of the course. 33. Which action supports continuous improvement in CNC training programs? A. Reviewing learner feedback and updating lessons accordingly. B. Avoiding curriculum changes to save time. C. Using outdated instructional materials. D. Ignoring inspection results from industry partners. 34. A trainee learns best through observation. Which teaching technique should the instructor use? A. Demonstration followed by guided replication. B. Reading assignments without visuals. C. Timed written tests. D. Independent research tasks.